Welcome to Crime with My Coffee. This podcast contains graphic descriptions and adult content. Mature audiences only, please.
Hi, y'all, and welcome to Crime with My Coffee. I'm your fabulous hostess with the mostest, June.
And I'm Suzanne. We're going to tell you some stories you've heard.
Some you haven't.
And some you'll wish you hadn't.
All with a Texas twang.
All right. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Glad you could join us.
Absolutely. And if you're here for the first time, listen to this one, then go back and choose one that sounds really good, that, you know, just really catches your interest, and listen to that one, and then just listen to all of them.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes. All of them.
Yes. We like all of them.
We do.
All of them.
So I just wanted to say before we got started this week, if you were a Patreon member prior to these episodes, if you signed up before December 5th, keep an eye out your gift boxes. If they have not arrived yet, they should be arriving any day now.
Oh, how exciting. It's so exciting.
Yes. And we'd love to see pictures of your goodies.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Send us pictures, tag us on Facebook, whatever. We're there.
Yes. So anyway, what's in your mug today?
Well, in my mug, I did go back to my box o' pods, like I said I was going to, and I grabbed one thinking that the darker colored cups were all pumpkin spice, and I was like, I just gotta do it. But the one that I grabbed is by Crazy Cups, and it's cinnamon French toast.
Ooh, I like French toast.
I like cinnamon, apparently. So you can kind of taste the cinnamon. It's not real strong, but this stuff reminds me of the cereal that you can get. It's so good and smooth, and just the aroma of the cinnamon, but you can smell the French toast too. You know, it's really, really good, and I am really, really enjoying this.
Nice.
Yes. So what is in your mug today?
I got my delivery from Bones Coffee Company of the K-Cups that I ordered. So I have Frankenbones, which is the chocolate hazelnut. It's one of their fall flavors that when I went to order some, they didn't have any in the bags, but I did find a box with the K-Cups. I ordered 2 boxes. Yeah,
Nice.
I'm drinking chocolate hazelnut. It tastes like one of the little Ferrero Rocher J's things. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious.
I love those things.
That's my son's favorite candy.
Oh, yeah. You have a sister that's her favorite candy too. And I can tell you it's funny because I'm not a big fan of like the hazelnut creamer.
Me neither.
But that stuff, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am all about it.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So my coffee is delicious.
I'm kind of jealous right now.
You know what? When I come down for Christmas, I'll bring you a couple of these K-Cups.
Okay, even though this cinnamon French toast is delicious, I'm kind of jealous of yours.
I'll share a couple of my Frankenbones K-Cups with you.
Okay, all right.
Because I did get 2 boxes.
There you go. Because you knew you were going to have to share.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So I have a case for us this week.
All right.
Do you have your passport?
Ooh, let's go. Can I say no and still get to go?
No, because they'll probably search the back end of the Jeep when we try to cross the border over into Canada.
Okay. All right. Well, got my passport then. Let's go.
Yeah. So I can't sneak you in the suitcase. They'll probably search me when I'm crossing the border. So we're going to Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, all right.
And we're going to go in the kind of back machine. We're going back to the 1980s.
Oh, wow. It's funny.
Early 1990s. So
it's funny. we say kind of back machine, because we don't think it's that far ago. But a lot of people nowadays would go, oh my God, that's so long ago, because they weren't born till 2000 or something.
You know what? We're not talking about the kids that call me old. It's fine.
I know. It's cool. It's
fine.
It's cool.
It's fine. So we're going to talk about Alexandra. Alexandra. She was the child of a working class Yugoslavian immigrants who lived in a suburb of Vancouver, Canada. She was a former beauty queen, and she had even competed in Miss Canada in 1985.
Oh, sweet.
She was tall, beautiful, blonde, and had what one of her friends described as a wicked sense of humor.
Oh, I like her already.
When she was 20, she got a job as a dental assistant, and she loved to spend time with her mom. And one of the hobbies that these two women had was they would go to open houses together just for funsies, which I'm starting to think this sounds like a hobby I need to pick up because I am nosy as all get out, and I would love to go into a stranger's home and see how they have their house set up and just poke my nose in all their closets and cabinets and everything and see what they've got.
Yes, and see how they have it set up so maybe you can get some not decorating, but ideas on how to put your furniture and stuff like that. I'm about it. I say we start doing it because
I think this needs to be a new hobby for sure.
Yes. Maybe we should do that once a month on a weekend or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I love the way they have this room set up, but I would change this or that and just see.
I would have never thought that you could decorate with this or that or, oh, yeah. You know what?
Why have we never done this? We're nosy.
I'm still in this idea because I love it. Love it.
Well, she and her mom were at one of these open houses and they were speaking in their native tongue when another woman approached them all excited because she too was a Yugoslavian immigrant.
Oh, sweet.
They hit it off immediately. And when Alexandra mentioned that she had a little automotive work or she had a little bit of work that needed to be done to her car, this woman whose name was Alexandra Pesic said that she and her husband owned a car shop and Alexandra should totally use them to fix her car.
Yes.
And that's exactly what Alexandra did.
Nice.
So she goes and she takes her car into the Pesic's automotive shop. And that's where she met Jelka's son, 27-year-old Joe Pesic. And just like in the fairy tales and in so many episodes that we've covered, it was love at first sight with these two.
Insta love. I love it.
Yes. Joe would take Alexandra to the finest restaurants around town. He always brought flowers to her. He would take her for rides on his motorcycle all the time. A month after dating, he proposed.
That definitely is insta love right there.
For sure, because Alexandra said, abso-freaking-lutely.
Heck yeah, who doesn't want to get married?
And everyone was super happy for the couple.
That's awesome.
Well, then things got a little bit janky.
Uh-oh.
Jelka started pushing her opinions and thoughts on the couple, from who should be invited to the wedding to what dress Alexandra should wear for the wedding. Alexandra started to have second thoughts about marrying Joe, but she went ahead with it anyway, thinking, once we're married and we're living together, Jelka will kind of butt out a little bit.
Right. Back off a little bit, my mother-in-law. Gotcha.
Right. So they got married on June 11th of 1988. But Jelka didn't let up after the wedding.
Oh, God. Come on, woman. It's not your life anymore. The man is married.
Exactly. Basically, Jelka wanted to control everything that the couple did, from what they spent their money on to even where they should live. Alexandra, like you, felt that she and Joe were grown-ups and they could do what they wanted, and they should be able to make their own decisions without Jelka saying, no, this is what you need to do. No, this is what you have to do. This is what you should, this is what you're gonna do.
No. See, I mean, I've got my opinions and, I would like you to do this or I would like you to do that, but you're grown and you do what you want to do.
Yeah, you're not paying my Williams. I am. So back off.
Exactly.
You're not going to question my Williams. Come on. I set you up for that joke perfectly.
Oh,
okay, let's try that again. You're not paying my Williams. It don't matter.
Williams?
Yeah, it's like bills, but they're grown up. I have grown up bills, so they're Williams. They're not bills.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, one day though, Jelka made the newlyweds an offer they couldn't refuse though.
Uh-oh.
She and her husband would give them this big chunk of change for a down payment on a house that was close to their own home.
I don't know though. I love my family. Okay. Not gonna lie. But the closest one, I guess, would be my mother. And she's 35 minutes away. So I'm good with that. I don't want to live within 5 minutes because if I don't want you to come over or if I don't want to come to your house, you can't make me.
I'm just going to say my mother lives about 2 hours away from me and my mother-in-law lives about an hour and a half away from me. And, so one day, the couple took this offer. They moved into this home. They bought this home.
Okay.
And but the fights didn't stop. Jelka and Alexandra were even arguing over whether or not a backsplash should be installed in the kitchen.
You know what? This is my house. Let me paint it if I want. Let me do whatever I want. No, this is my house. You do your house. I'll do mine.
These are the things that Alexandra was fighting with Jelka over all the time.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, no.
At the end of 1989, after a year and a half or so of marriage, Alexandra and Joe announced to their families that they were expecting a baby.
Oh, well, I mean, that's very exciting for them, but I'm afraid that the mother-in-law is going to want to name the baby. No, get over yourself. They made this thing. Let them name it what they want. I'm just saying. Wow.
Oh my goodness, you're killing me. So after the birth of their son in 1990, things didn't calm down between Alexandra and her monster-in-law. Everything came to a head one night when Joe and Alexandra had made plans to go out on a date night. It'd been a while. They're going to go out, just the two of them. Jelka's going to watch their little boy. He's a baby, a little baby baby boy.
No.
And Alexandra told Jelka, hey, here's the bottles that I've mixed up for him. Here's his feeding schedule. Here's when he needs the next one, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Jelka goes, I think I'm going to make him a tea from the old country that we use back in the old country to help babies sleep. So he'll sleep really well while you're not here.
Okay, but he's a baby. Don't give him tea.
Well,
I mean,
Alexandra,
I waited until all y'all were at least a year old before I gave you coffee. I'm just saying.
You didn't with my daughter.
Well, I mean, she was close to a year old-ish.
That child was drinking bottles of coffee at 6 months old, woman.
See, I said she was almost a year-ish.
See, it did stunt her growth.
It did. My bad. I'm sorry.
So short.
She's so tiny. Just so tiny. Like a little munchkin.
Like a little munchkin. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we are so getting off topic here. Mm. So Jelka is saying, hey, I should make this tea for him so he will sleep really well tonight. And Alexandra is like, woman, you absolutely best not make that tea for my kid and give it to him, because if so, we gonna fight, like for real fight. Yeah. And I'm gonna win.
Yeah. Okay. You tell her.
So they left. And when they returned, Alexandra found that her son was sleeping rather soundly.
Nice.
So soundly that she wasn't able to wake him up.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So she's kind of freaking out a little bit. And Jelka admitted to her that she had made and given him the tea from the old country anyway. Alexandra freaked out because not only could she not wake up her baby, she could hardly feel a pulse.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
So she takes him to the hospital. They kept him, did what they could, assured her, he would wake up, he would be fine, blah, blah, blah. Everything's okay. The baby was okay.
Thank goodness. But this monster-in-law, bitch, you better step on.
Yeah, this was the last straw for Alexandra. She packed up her stuff and she packed up her son's stuff and she went to her mother's. She told Joe he had a choice to make. He could either stand up to his mother and they could move back home and become a family, or she would file for divorce and they were totally and completely over, like 100% done.
I get it. I totally get it.
She said she would no longer allow herself to come after his mother, and she absolutely refused to let her son grow up in that type of environment.
Got you. I'm behind you all the way.
Well, Joe ended up not making the choice that she was hoping he would make.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so just 2 short years into her marriage, Alexandra files for divorce.
I mean, I feel she's got every right to do it.
Oh, absolutely. But getting divorced wouldn't be easy either.
I don't think it really ever is.
They fought over custody of the baby. They fought over who would keep the house. They fought over the finances. Alexandra pulled out some dirt that she had on Jelka in order to help the courts make a fully informed decision when it came to the custody of her son. She let them know, about the tea from the old country that Jelka had brewed and given her son. She even told them that Jelka had a nasty habit of shoplifting and had even been banned from several stores in their area because of this.
Oh, well, got the sticky fingers.
Yeah. Well, between that and the old world tea that Jelka had given the baby, all of this stuff was, not hearsay because there was tangible proof of this.
Right.
The court said that Alexandra would be given full custody of the baby. She would get the house, and Joe was ordered to pay $6 a month, or $6. No, sorry. Joe was ordered to pay $600 a month in child support, which, by the way, is almost $1,400 in today's money.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Jelka lost her mind.
You know what? It's her fault, though. She should not be mad at anybody but herself.
It is not just her fault. It is her son's fault, too, because he was like, no, I pick my mommy over my wife and my baby.
Yeah, that's not true. Because once you get married, that now becomes your immediate concern and family. Done.
But yeah, so Jelka losing her mind over here. She told Joe that Alexandra was just a gold digger and she only ever married him because she wanted to ride off into the sunset with all the family's money and riches.
No.
Now, the Pesics, they weren't poor, but they weren't rich either. They were doing okay. They were doing really well for themselves.
Right. They were comfortable enough that they could afford groceries and lights all at the same time.
Yes, they were doing very well for themselves, but they weren't rich by any means.
Okay.
The divorce was finalized in November of 1991. And not long after the divorce, Alexandra started to think that she was being followed around by a white car.
Uh-oh. Stalker.
She also received a book in the mail that there was no return address on it. This book was written by a guy named Neil Hall, and it was titled The Deaths of Cindy James. It was a nonfiction book about a lady that had had some weird and crazy harassment type things happen to her for a while before her death. which, depending on who you talk to, it was either due to suicide or murder. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because that is a case we will be covering soon-ish.
Okay.
It also happened in Canada, by the way. If I remember correctly, it happened in Canada too.
Okay.
Anyway, so Alexandra gets this book from some secret sender, and there were several passages and parts in this book that had been highlighted, parts that described some of the harassment that Cindy James was dealing with.
Okay. I'm just going out on a limb and I'm making a guesstimate on my part, but I'm thinking that the monster-in-law has something to do with this. But that's just my opinion because I don't like her.
Well, that's your thought. We will soon discover who is behind all this. So just keep your thought in mind. You've cast your vote.
Okay.
You are voting Jelka off the island.
Okay. Well, I mean, even if she didn't do it specifically, she had something to do with it. That's my opinion. Okay.
Okay. So you're definitely voting Jelka off the island.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Done.
Okay. There was one highlighted part in particular that described Cindy James's yard being set on fire.
Oh my God.
And one night, Alexandra and one of her friends were just chilling, hanging out when they heard something outside, and they look out and bam, Alexandra's yard is totally on fire.
Oh my God.
There was another time that she was driving to her mom's house and she noticed this white car following super close behind her again. So she gets to her mom's and she pulls in the driveway and she starts going in the house as quickly as she can. But before she could get inside, she saw that this car parked behind hers. That way, like she couldn't escape the driveway or whatever.
Right.
And this guy with a gun gets out of this car and starts running towards her. So she speeds it up, steps it up, and runs into the house and closes the door before this guy can catch up to her. And part of the reason why this would-be gunman did not catch up to her is because he tripped and fell because he's clumsy. I mean, I feel you, bro. Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then he got in his car and left because he fell and she was in the house and the door was closed and all that. So he skedaddles on out of there. Well, she calls the cops. Like I said, he was gone, though, by the time the cops got there.
Right.
And there were other things highlighted in this book that were starting to happen to Alexandra.
Oh,
She's convinced, just like you, that Jelka was behind all of this. But she had no proof of that. So there wasn't really anything the cops could do. So she did the next best thing. She hired a private investigator.
Heck yeah, you go.
I know. On August 5th, 1992, less than a year after the divorce was finalized, Alexandra and a coworker were leaving the dental office that they worked at. Alexandra had taken to asking friends and family and coworkers to go everywhere with her. She was afraid to be alone and figured that as long as somebody was with her, nothing bad would happen to her.
At least that's what you hope.
Right. So they're getting into the car and her friend leans down to readjust her gym bag in the floorboard or whatever. And her friend heard some bangs and felt Alexandra slump against her. Then she heard a car speeding away. The coworker ran back inside the office to get help. Alexandra was taken to the hospital. She had been shot in the shoulder and she had been shot in the head.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, there was nothing the doctors could do, and she did not survive.
Oh, my God.
The cops did have some good information, though, because there had been at least 30 witnesses to the shooting of Alexandra Pesic.
Good. I'm very glad.
And they all said basically the same thing. They saw a couple of guys in a red car pull up. One of them got out, shot Alexandra, then jumped back in the car, and it took off. The cops did get a license plate from at least one witness as well.
Sweet. Very sweet.
So they run their cop Google on that, and it comes back that this car had actually been reported stolen a couple of days before.
Of course.
Of course. So they call up Joe, the ex-husband. You got to start, with those. Exactly. And he said, no, he didn't have anything to do with it. He'd been at the pool with his son during the time of the murder. Look, I even have these receipts to show that, I had taken my son swimming. His son was, I think, 3 at the time or almost 3.
Mm-hmm.
And his parents, they talked to his parents, and his parents said, no, we've been at the shop all day working. Like we didn't have anything to do with it either. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Well, after hearing about Alexandra's murder, her private investigator got in touch with the police. He gave them all the information he had been gathering since he had been hired. He was able to confirm, Joe was at the pool with their kid. Like I had somebody tailing him that day. He was at the pool when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
doesn't mean he's not involved, but
so he's no longer a suspect in the shooting. The investigator also was able to confirm that his parents had been at the shop that day because he had somebody tailing them, because he, like Alexandra, also thought that Jelka was behind a lot of the harassment and the followings and all of that going on.
Right.
So he had somebody tailing Joe. He had somebody tailing the Pesics. And he was like, no, their alibis, they're all solid. But I do have the license plate number of the white car that had been following Alexandra before her murder.
Okay, at the start.
So the cops run this license plate, and it comes back as belonging to a man named Milan Nanatic.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of days later, the stolen red car showed up in a McDonald's parking lot. They, of course, got their crime scene tech guys to go through it. They're able to find a usable fingerprint and a hair in this car. They also found a witness that said when the car had been left there, 2 guys were driving it. They parked it, got out of it, got into a white car, and zoomed on out of there.
Okay.
So they put 2 and 2 together. They're like, Nanatic drives a white car. And that white car had been following her for a while.
Yes.
You know what? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
They run the prints against Nanatic's because his prints were on file. He had been convicted for something or other before, prior to this.
Okay.
And so they run the prints against his. The prints that were in the stolen car, the prints that were in the stolen car didn't match Nanatic. So they're thinking, well, maybe it wasn't his white car that they drove off in. He doesn't own the only white car in the area.
Right. But if there were 2 men in the red car, I'm just saying, it could be the other guys.
Well, the prints that they found in the red car, they did come back as a match to another criminal named Lawrence Delorme.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops put both of these guys under 24/7 surveillance.
Okay.
It's August 10th, and they noticed that Nanatic was going to the Pesic home. He got into a car with Jelka, but when he got into the car with her, he laid down in the back seat to kind of be hidden so nobody could see him in her car.
Mm-hmm.
They drive out to the mall. They got out separately. They went inside separately. They were inside for just a few minutes before coming out separately, getting back into the car separately, and he laid down in the back seat again as they drove back to the Pesic home.
Very suspicious.
Exactly. Jelka went inside. Nanatic got in his car to leave, and the cop said, you know what? We're just going to shoot our shot. And they pulled Nanatic over.
Okay.
When they did, $30,000, which is equivalent to about $66,000 today.
Oh, wow.
Falls out of his shorts.
Oh my God.
Shortly after this, a friend of the Pesic family called the authorities and said, I was visiting the Pesics one day, not too long before Alexandra was killed. And Nanatic was there. Like he came over. He was there when I got there, and then he left. And when he left, Jelka said, "That's good then. It'll soon be over."
Oh, yeah, that's not creepy.
Right? So with this information, they arrest Jelka. They search her house and they find the murder weapon. They also go and search Delorme's house and they find a piece of paper that had Nanatic's contact information on it. So they finally have a connection between Jelka, who's the mastermind, Nanatic, who's the middle guy. He supplied the car. He supplied the weapon.
Right.
And Delorme, the getaway driver.
Yep.
What they didn't have yet, though, was the shooter?
Well, it's one of the two guys that were in the white car.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's neither. Oh, yes. One of the two guys in the white car. Yes, you are correct. But who's the second guy in the white car?
I don't know.
Because it's not an attic.
And it's not the
And
husband.
it's not Delorme, and it's not the husband. No. Well, when they were searching Delorme's house, they also found the contact information of a guy named David Segoviano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to pretend I nailed that.
You
They
did.
they go to talk to him, but he wasn't home.
Okay.
So they ended up talking to his roommate, and his roommate said, he recently got a haircut. Like, he recently cut his hair. Like, he didn't go get a haircut. He just did it here himself. Here's some of the clippings from his haircut. So the cops take those clippings and they're able to compare those to the hair that was found in the car, and it was a match.
There you go. See, they're just involving way too many people. I'm just
So
saying.
I know. So the cops talk to Segoviano's girlfriend, and she agrees to wear a wire. And while she's wearing this wire, she is able to get her boyfriend to confess to not only being the shooter, but she was also able to get him to implicate the other 3 people.
Sweet.
By August 15th, 1992, just 10 days after her murder, all 4 people that were provably involved had been arrested.
Good.
They all went on trial in 1993. They were all convicted, and they were all 3 given the maximum sentence in Canada for murder, which is 25 to life.
Nice.
Joe was never charged with a crime. His and Alexandra's son went to live with Alexandra's mom.
Okay.
In 1998, she filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Jelka on his behalf.
Good.
In 2003, when he was 13, it was settled for $350,000, though part of that did have to go towards the lawyer's fees and the court fees and all of that.
Absolutely.
The rest of it was given to a public trustee who handled it until the son turned 19. And that's my case. That's what I got for you this week. What?
Wow. I knew the monster-in-law had something to do with it, because she was.
Oh, yeah. You voted her off the island way back at the beginning.
She was all up in their business. Yes. So she was just way too involved in this couple's life to not be involved, unfortunately, in her death.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's crazy. Talk about a monster-in-law. Like, I'm so glad my mother-in-law loves me.
Oh, God. You know what? I mean, I've got a good mother-in-law too. So, yeah. Wow. Ugh. She's a horrible, horrible person. And I hope she just rots in jail forever.
Yeah,
All
that'd
of
be
them.
nice, wouldn't it?
I hope all of them do.
I did just a super quick Google search to see if I had seen any of them get paroled. I don't think I saw any of them get paroled because I didn't write it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that just means they're still there and that's where they belong and we're good with it.
So I did see that Jelka had, what's the word? Appealed. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Jelka had appealed her conviction or her sentence or something like that, because she was like, I didn't kill her. It wasn't me.
Guilty by association.
And the courts were like, nah, bruh, you're the mastermind. We're not reducing anything. Are you kidding me, lady?
Exactly. If it wasn't for her, this would have never happened.
Exactly.
So, yeah. No. Ugh. I hope nobody ever gets a mother-in-law like that. That's gross. Gross.
Yeah, don't be a mother-in-law like that, y'all.
No.
It's not that hard.
No, it's really not. Really not at all. So.
Just saying. Saying.
Well, thank you for sharing. We know that the last couple episodes have been kind of short, but with everything going on, at least you're getting something, right?
Well, I figure we could do the shorter ones around this time of year because, people are busy and they don't really have time to listen to everything right now. And if they want to listen, they've got something But if they want to
Yes.
save it, it's not going to take them 3 weeks to get caught back up because our episodes are, 800 hours long.
Very true. Very true. You're a genius. You're a mastermind yourself. Look at that.
You know what? I don't know that I like the title mastermind after this particular episode. Can we think of something else?
All right. We'll think of something else. Yes.
Okay.
So thanks, you guys, for joining us again this week. And we know the holidays are very fast approaching. So hopefully you're getting all your shopping done and wrapping and whatever it is you need to do. And anyway, I guess until next time, guys.
Have a good one. Okay, bye.
Bye.